In this lecture, we'll be looking at why we forget things. Is forgetting a good or a bad thing, and why does it happen at all? Everyone forgets. Some people naturally are less prone to forgetting than others, but there are no people who are immune to forgetting. The most important thing to realise when we talk about memory is that forgetting is an important and necessary process that lets us get on with life without getting bogged down with irrelevant information. Usually, the vast majority of information that gets lost are things that do not affect your life negatively. What we think of as forgetting is usually when you're unable to recall something you need, which makes you aware of the fact that the information is missing. So forgetting itself is not a bad thing, but if it interferes with the normal course of your life, it could be something that you need to work on. Often, when we think that we've forgotten something, what actually happened is that we didn't save the information in the first place. For a memory to stick well, it needs to have been attention-grabbing, relevant, or interesting to us. Our memory also relies a lot on association. So if you can associate new memories with ones that are already well seated in your mind, those more permanent memories lend their strength to your new ones. They form a sort of family of memories that support one another. Time and disuse are also important factors in whether you will forget something. If you haven't used a particular memory in a very long time, it will fade and in some cases become lost, as the brain doesn't think it's important. So simply revising is a good way to refresh your memories. Revising is much less intense than learning something in the first place. You're simply telling your brain that something you have already learned is in fact important and that it should strengthen it. We actually forget most of what we learn within about a week if we do not revise and repeat it. This is why you should never cram for an exam too close to its date. Even though you may feel like you know the material, you start forgetting it pretty soon after, and if you don't revise and repeat it for quite a while, it won't sit in your long-term memory for very long at all. That's when you encounter the dreaded memory blank when you're sitting for your exam. You know you studied the material, but you just can't remember the content. The bottom line is this: forgetting is good. Just make sure you make an effort to remember the things that you know are important, and you're to make sure that your brain knows it's important too.